to order at 7:00 p.m. Today is August the 13th. You have before you, hopefully, the meeting agenda. Prior to calling roll, I need to inform you that 2 trustees have asked to sign on, one asked to sign on remotely because she has a family emergency, and that is Trustee Burns. May I have your is it okay that we allow her to come on remotely? We have established that there is a quorum amongst us.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. We will wait until our trustee gets her seat, and then we will begin. Thank you. We are going to move on with our discussion.
Hello.
Hi, Trustee Burns. We're starting the meeting.
Thank you. I'm here.
You're welcome.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns is on remote. Trustee Jones, absent due to family emergency. Trustee Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Sack. Here. Trustee Sterling.
Present.
Trustee Winston.
Here.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item number 2, where we're looking at discussions and presentations. The very first one will come from Clerk Debbie Williams. She will be talking about local records management and/or have a representative, IML conference participation, and she will bring forth for us the final proposal for recodification of our ordinances.
Thank you, ma'am. We have Mr. Kimray Richards in the audience from the state to go over record retention with us. He's from the Local Records Union, Illinois State Archives, and I appreciate him coming to the village tonight to give us a thorough display, as much as he can in a short amount of time, explanation about record retention. Record retention is unfortunately something we have not performed very well over the last several years, and by several I mean since 1987. So I'd like to call Mr. Richards up to this table in the center here. There's a mic there, sir, if you wouldn't mind putting the mic on. And I'm going to let you take over the entire conversation because I need to learn just like my board. Check it. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Yes? Thank you.
Can you hear? Did you have a voice of hearing? Did you turn the light on, sir?
Check. Is that better?
A little bit louder, sir.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to the Board of Trustees. Good evening to the members of the community and village of Sauk. My name is Kimray Richards. I'm the field representative for the Illinois State Archives.
Could you speak just a little bit louder, sir, because we're having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Sal, could you do me a favor? Can you turn to a mic check here for our speaker? If you do a mic check for our speaker, make certain that it's on and that it is operating.
Hello. It's working.
Okay, sir, so if you could just talk directly into the mic.
All right. Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Kimray Richards. I'm the field representative for the Illinois State Archives. And I'm here to speak on records retention. So I was intending to do a PowerPoint presentation, but I'll just read from what I have. All right, so let me start with the Local Records Act. The Local Records Act was passed in 1961 to provide for local government agencies to legally dispose of their records and to ensure the local historical documents were preserved. The Local Records Act established that Local Records Commission will determine how long records will be retained, and it is the commission that approves applications, inventories, and agencies cannot just make up their own retention schedules. So you will ask, what does the Secretary of State's Management Office, Records Management Office do? As a state archivist, the Illinois Secretary of State is mandated to support the Local Records Commission and local government agencies. The local records unit staff members serve as liaisons between your agency and local records commissions, and we are here to assist you with your records management issues. We help agencies with establishing and updating applications for authority to dispose of local records and submitting disposal certificates. All right, so what is a public record? A public record is any book, paper, map, photograph, born digital electronic material, digitized electronic material with a combination of digitized and born digital material. And the list goes on. It's a rather long list, so I won't get into that today. All right, so I'm going to get into what is not a record, because this is important for you, for persons who are not aware of what record retention is. So what is not a public record? Extra copies of documents preserved for only the convenience or of reference. Stacks of publications and processed documents that are not included within the definition of a public record. I had a photograph of what is an application for authority to dispose of local records, but I think the trustees would have a copy of it. All right, so how do you document your records? The application for authority to dispose of a local record. This is a document that lists all records with the following identifiers: date, total volume, and annual accumulation and arrangement, and so on. There's some more finer details. Let me skip that. Okay, so aside from that, we assist public agencies whenever there are disasters concerning records. So if, let's say, there's a flooding, there's a fire, there's some natural disaster that affects your records, you would call me as your local state representative. And I would come in and make an examination, and we can make a decision as to when to dispose of these records and how to dispose of them. This is another important topic with regard to digital and digitized records, because I know that's something that I'm definitely going to be asked a question about. So effective January 1, 2001, the Local Records Act was amended to allow the storage of electronic records. So whenever, I know that's a question that's going to come up. So under the Act, we are entitled to ensure that they are stored properly, and my job is to ensure that you are following the law properly. And I think, and I have some examples that I would have highlighted, but that you would have that example. So that's the end of my presentation. I will take some questions.
I'm sorry, sir. Audience, please silence your devices. We'll wait in case you need to take a moment to do so. If this is the second distraction, and the meeting has anything been going on for some years, we need to hear what our speaker is saying, because you know we have a lot of records that needs to be gotten rid of because we have no place in this building to store anything. So this is very important, and especially for the clerk and as we come to you asking you. So please honor us. Thank you. I'm sorry, sir, to have to interrupt you. You make a point.
Oh, so I had spoken to Clerk with him regarding the length of time since an application to dispose of records was done. The last one that was done by Sauk Village was in March 1986. But since then, it's not all bad. It's not all bad. You have been doing some disposal certificates, and the most recent we had was June 2005. So there are some records that we have found. So although that's 20 years ago, either way. So we do hope that, and I do hope that coming here, I'll be able to forge a relationship with you where we can dispose of your records effectively and efficiently.
Yes.
So how soon should we start with this?
As soon as possible. You know, I will speak to Clerk Williams and we can start the process as soon as possible. But what we will do in terms of disposal, you can do what we call a clean out disposal, where you can use this application, the one from 86, you can use this in order to get rid of certain records that are on it. And then we're going to work on a brand new one and bring that up to date. There is no set for every record. There are different time retention periods for different records. There are some that are permanent and some are temporary. So some can be a year, 2 years, as long as it's necessary. The main aim is that we keep records that are of historical and legal value to the organization. So if the village finds that a certain document is permanent, you know, it stays forever. You know, so we'll put permanent on it and it stays permanent.
Any other questions, Carla?
Yeah, so when you're saying there's different time frames for different records, so with our financials, is that to be considered a permanent?
Not all financial records.
Not all. Can you
So
give me an example of maybe which would be permanent, or maybe you keep it for what, 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so like tax documents are 7 years. They go with the IRS.
What was that, sir?
7 years.
That's not-
Yes, certain tax documents, they roll over. It depends on what you need it for. You know, financial, most tax are 7 years. You know, you have some for 5. It just depends.
Is that stipulated someplace?
Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Thank you. I have 2 questions to begin with. You said that we should use the 1986 document to start the current retention.
No, well, you can use it or you can just choose to just start fresh completely. But we try, it's more expedient where you have this. It might take some time for you to get the new one done. So if you really want this one to clean out, you can use what is on the 1986 one.
And I would like a copy of that so that I would prefer working with the one that's already been done.
Yes.
Because the records, type of records that we have to keep should be similar.
Yes. I had given you another paper earlier. That one is for another village. So you can look at that one. That one is more current.
Okay.
That was recently done, I think in July of this year. So that is more current. So you can use that, look at that one and see, what is there, that you would like to keep and what you would like to adopt.
And my second question is, since it's been since 1986 since we did this, and maybe something should have been kept for 40 years, what if we don't have it on premises? What if there's something that should have been kept for 10 years and we don't have it on premises? What if we're missing several documents that we should have been retaining? Is there a penalty to this?
We'll call the police. I'm sorry, we won't do that. Well, as long as it wasn't willfully done,
So as long as it wasn't willfully destroyed?
Destroyed, yes. It's not that we won't, we'll take a look at it, and look at it case by case, but it's not like we're going to call the police or there's going to be a big inquiry or anything about it like that.
So I was looking, good evening, I was looking through here to actually ask the question, so what happens if files were willfully destroyed?
Well, it can be a felony. It's a Class B felony.
And you would be responsible for starting the process?
Yes, I would have to report that.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say a Class C felony? I'm having a hard time.
I would have to get a full check on that. I think it's a Class B, but let me get back to you on that for sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions? Trustee Sauk.
Well, the purpose for my role as the field representative is to work with the agency to determine what records are to be retained. And also there are many different records that are required by federal law and different norms and practices, so you keep those. So we would look at each agency. What we have in Springfield is what we call JCAR. They're a committee that goes through all of the various records throughout the state, and we determine what are. There are some that are not determined by them. We would work with the agency and see what works and what doesn't work.
Thank you, sir, for your time. Thanks for your travel. I understand you came a distance.
Yes, I traveled half hour to be down here.
How many?
I'm in South Chicago.
South Chicago?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm in
okay.
Beverly. Sorry. It's not too far.
Thank you for your time.
You're most
We
welcome.
appreciate it.
Thank you all for being in touch.
And thanks for having me.
You can leave it on.
So there was a lot more information in the packet that we provided as far as some of the questions that you were asking is included in that packet, such as how long does certain records have to be retained, which don't have to be retained, and what the penalty is if you don't have the documents or if they were willfully destroyed. So there's a huge packet full of information there. If anybody has any questions, you can reach out to me. I will reach out to Mr. Richards, and then make sure that we're all fully on the same page, because it's a huge project. And it's not only us, it's the department heads too that are going to be brought into this, because all the department heads have their own records that they're keeping. So it's going to take some time, but I would like to get started sooner rather than later. You'll start seeing emails from me. But again, any questions at all, they'll go right to Mr. Richards to give a response. Thank you again, Mr. Richards.
I called all three of you to get this.
Okay, that's what I want to make sure. Okay, IML conference. Okay, this is the time of year where we register for IML, Illinois Municipal League Conference. This is going to be held Thursday, September 17th through the 19th at the Hyatt Regency Chicago. And the gubernatorial candidates that will be speaking are J.B. Pritzker, Darren Bailey, Colin Corbett, and the U.S. Senate candidates are Juliana Stratton and Don Tracy. That's just for the speakers, but there will be several sessions that especially newer trustees would like to be a part of. Because I know if they went last year, they weren't able to get in every session. They run several sessions simultaneously, so it takes a while before you can get a course in or a refresher course in. But the most important thing is, because we haven't met very much because of the storms, I have to reiterate what I said the last time is, if you want to reserve a room, you must reserve it by August 26th, or you will be paying the higher rates. The hotel rooms, they have an allotment for the conference of $289 plus tax. If you wait until after August 26th, the village will have to pay the higher rate. As well as the conference itself, the conference is $325, and if you don't get registered by, I guess the week after that, then it's going to be $375. So what I'm saying to you is, if you know you want to go to the IML conference, what I would suggest is we get the allotment on next week's AP, because we don't have a lot of time to turn it around. So this is the 18th, next Tuesday's the 25th. We would basically either have to do a credit card or have the trustees use their own devices to reserve the room, which we're going to be going over that in a few minutes. So either is the village going to pay for the rooms up front, are the trustees going to get their own rooms up front? So the board has to decide how they're going to do that. As far as the registration for the conference itself, the village will be providing that directly to the hotel. It says after September 4th, all conference rates will be the normal registration fee on on-site registration, which is $375 instead of $325. So it behooves us to try to get this on the next week's accounts payable. If you're going, I would like to know as soon as possible. I'll send you the application, and we can talk about the next thing on the agenda is you have two ordinances in front of you, and these ordinances were approved last year before going to conference. And ordinance 25002 is an ordinance amending chapter 5, compensation for employee travel and reimbursement in the Sauk Village 2017 handbook for the village of Sauk Village. So before last year's conference, the board vetted out all this information, and this is how they went last year. The next ordinance is an ordinance amending section 5, compensation employee travel and reimbursement. Same thing. They're two different ordinances. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's two ordinances. So it's for the meals. Okay, but it's the same ordinance, but there was another one as well. I have to get that to the board. I thought I emailed you both. I beg your pardon. I will send them to you. But this is the one that we need to talk about, okay? Are you going to be reimbursed? How are you going to be reimbursed for your travel? Are you going to get per diem? Or are you going to turn in your invoices up to in your receipts up to a certain amount? This is something that the board needs to decide. The board also needs to decide, are they going to book their own hotel rooms, use their own credit cards, and get reimbursed afterwards? Or is the village going to book the rooms? And again, we have 1 week. And as I've gone to several IML conferences, I will tell you that rooms go fast. So if you don't get a room at the hotel where the conference is being held, you could end up being in a different hotel. And seeing that some of the exhibits and some of these sessions start as early as 8 o'clock in the morning, I would not suggest not getting into the hotel where the conference is being held. So I would like to know if the board would like to discuss that right now. It's at the Hyatt Regency in Chicago on Wacker. So it's up to the board how they want to follow through on that.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, and residents. I will respectfully recuse myself of attending the IML conference for the 2026 year, as our village is in a state of ruined at this particular time, and I do not want to cause the village to have to incur any added expenses on my part to attend the conference. Thank you.
Any comments?
Yes, this is Trustee Burns.
To the conference, this year. However, I would recommend that Deputy Clerk, Marva Scott go in my place if that's agreeable to the board, but I personally will not be.
Any other comments?
This is Trustee Burns. This is Trustee Burns. I think that we should continue to leave the arrangement in the hands of the clerk. To have everyone trying to book their own hotels and things of that nature will get very confusing. So I think that we just continue to do it the way we've been doing it.
I'm sorry, am I hearing you say that rather than trustees booking their own hotel, that the clerk should do so?
Yes.
Okay, were you saying anything else that I may have missed?
No, that was it. But please forgive my voice. I have a infection.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Mhm.
Trustee Johnson?
I second Trustee Burns' comment. I do feel like the clerk should look out hotels this year, and just let us know. I personally will be attending. I always attend every year. And like I said before, I do recommend that our new trustees do attend the IML conference. It's very important and educational for the board.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other comments?
As far as how they're going to be reimbursed for their expenses, we should probably discuss this now at the same time. Are they gonna get a per diem, and if so, how much is the per diem?
The per diem is established by the federal government. What we generally do for trustees who attend is we give them a daily rate, but not a per diem. The per diem, as I said, covers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The amount that can be spent on each one of those meals. But we usually give an advance. Last year we voted on, I think it was for 300.
Yes, but they gave out 5.
I'm sorry?
But
we
they
gave
gave
out
out
5. Okay. So I think that that's a point that needs to be discussed at this point. Trustee Johnson?
I feel that the ordinance that we have in front of us should remain the same. I feel like we should still keep with the $500, only due to the fact, like with me, I use mine for parking. And parking rates down there are very expensive. And plus, last year, I think I had to pay the deposit for the hotel. Yeah, because we booked our own hotel last year.
Oh, you booked your own
Yes, we
hotel.
booked our own hotel because we was late last year. And I feel this year, if our clerk can book us early, we wouldn't have to go through that type of hassle.
This is not over.
I know we're late.
Early would have
yeah.
been June.
Yes. So if we do decide that I do want to attend, how soon can the clerk start working on booking our hotel for the people that are attending?
I can't answer for this first.
Can I answer? I didn't want to say anything until you gave me the permission to answer. As soon as you let me know that you're going, like I said earlier, I will send you the registration form. When you give me the registration form, so I know for a fact that you're going, I will book your room. But it has always been the case, if I book your room and you do not attend the conference, you will be responsible for one night paying for the room, because you didn't show up. We have to prepay for the 3 rooms. So as long as the trustees understand that the village does it, there will be a one night, you will have to pay the village back, because that's what they'll charge us. Okay, so I would be happy to do that tomorrow, if you all tell me you're going, because at the time that there is a very short time frame, providing that the finance department and I can work out something to get that done. So we could probably reserve it without the credit card immediately. I will look into that tomorrow and I'll talk to the finance director. Now, as far as the per diem, so the finance director is in the audience, so they're suggesting a $500 per diem. I will let you know who's going to attend so that that can be on.
Know that we're talking about the advancement, it's not a per
Per
diem.
diem, I used the word per diem because it was that for many years. So yes, they're advanced. I will let you know, sir, tomorrow, who told me to come.
Director, you issued some statements after last year's conference because of the difficulty we had in people submitting their reports, submitting their reimbursement. Do you wish to share that recommendation or remind us what that recommendation, or would you just rather be silent at this time? Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Trustee Sterling, do you plan to attend the conference? Okay.
I do have one question. For, this is considered like a training or whatever, right?
Professional development.
Professional development, so this would be included, this would be part of our budget, right?
Typically, it's not, yes, it is usually in the budget. I'm sorry, let me speak. So those that are intending to attend, please communicate that with the village clerk. Know that if you are going, if the event is in mid-September, within 4 weeks, it's expected that you would have completed all of your financials. When you come back from the conference, it's expected that you would give a presentation of at least one of the sessions that you attended. Are we in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Question?
How soon can we, vote on the ordinance?
It should have been on.
The ordinance is already approved.
So we're gonna work off of the old ordinance? Yeah, every year. Yes, every year.
No, because it became a law in 2017. That's, before that, you did not have to do that. That's why you did not do it.
Well, then I need to.
That's why I was shocked, Mayor, that it wasn't placed on our special board meeting, but tonight, we could have voted on it tonight.
You should have. But we definitely can vote on it on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought I'm sorry, I only thought that you did that amended, if it was, because this one hasn't been amended since 2017. So that's why I didn't know that it was an annual,
It's an annual.
Okay, so now we know that, of course, this one wasn't for a long time. So I will get this in the hands of the attorney, and since you all are aware of it, it'll be in your packets on Friday, and we can approve it next week, along with the accounts table that approves with the reimbursements, okay? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Also, Mayor, within this ordinance, I feel like we should change the part where it says 300 to 500 to just a straight 5. Because 300 is not gonna do us any justice anymore within the years, for this year at all. So if you could just change that part, I'm satisfied with the rest of the ordinance.
Everyone else? In agreement with that ordinance, with the recommended change? Clerk, did you report that? Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next item on the agenda. And I'm going to apologize up front, okay? If I appear to be rushing through our agenda, no, it's because it's expected that we may have another thunderstorm, and we know how it is when we have those storms in here. So I'm just going to ask that we just move right on through, because we do have a special meeting directly after this.
My last item will also be very quick. We talked about the final proposal for the recodification on several instances. If you look at the packet, you have the final codification cost and services summary. It lists everything individually, approximately how many pages they think they're going to be using, how much each page is going to cost, the number of months to complete, everything that would go into the total recodification, the legal analysis that we agreed that we would be doing, and how many supplements would be prepared, how many documents would be sent. Everything is in this particular package. I would like to submit this next week for approval so that it can be part of the budget, the upcoming budget. because this is something, again, that hasn't been done in a few years, and I think the sooner we get started, the sooner better off we'll be. They anticipate this taking like 7 to 12 months. It's not an overnight project, because there's been so many years and ordinances in between, and to do the legal research from basically the beginning to the end of the code book, that's the total recodification. It could take some time, but I would really like to see this approved next week, placed in the upcoming budget, and started as soon as possible after approval. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Dr. Winston?
Clerk Williams, I noticed that the base cost went up from when it was originally provided to us.
Because they did the research to find out how many ordinances are outstanding, and when we said we wanted the legal research done, they basically kind of went through how many ordinances may change through the years. To go through the legal research from since 1957 to now, there's a lot of ordinances that are outdated, and the legal department would have to recommend updated ordinances for us. So they said from the very beginning, if you go up as upwards of 10,000, but as you see, when you don't do something for many, many, many years, when you finally come to the table and bring it to the table, it costs a lot of money to bring it back. And once it gets brought back, and once it is updated, it won't ever get this far behind again.
So is this their final price? This is the second price, and it has gone up. So when it comes back, you're asking us to vote on something, but the price, this is the second time it's gone up. So when are they gonna issue out us a final price? Because it's gone up 5,000 since the original price.
It says on the number 1, it says base cost. The actual page count may vary from the estimate. This is an estimate.
Okay.
Or you might add new ordinances during the codification process, which if we go 7 years, I'm sure we'll be adding new ordinances to the process. The final invoice will reflect the number of pages in the new code. The best they could give us at this time is $15,640 plus shipping and handling. But like I said, because we waited so long to do a total recodification that includes the legal research, we're going to be paying higher, and I guarantee you this price will go higher. But as the mayor said recently, we're not doing as many ordinances now that we used to in the past. So there's chances of having more than 10 ordinances very slim. So I'm hoping it won't, it's page by page, and the legal research won't have to be done on that because our attorneys research it. But as far as the older ordinances, they need to be researched. Like I said before, we have ordinances that says you still have to hitch your horse to the pole. You don't have that anymore. So that's what the legal review does, okay?
I understand. I'm real clear with all of that, and I understand the necessity of it. I'm simply just stating that the price, each time that the package is presented to the board, the price is increasing. So I would feel comfortable before I issue a vote that they at least give us a range. Because right now, there's nothing to say that we can't cap them at a certain price. Whatever they feel they want to go by, and it's legit that it hasn't been done in a while, but I think at least the board needs a range, and they cannot go beyond that range. If they do, they need to bring it back to us for us to take a vote on it versus them starting the work after we do a blinded vote on a certain price, and then they come back and tell us this price has doubled or tripled because of the number of years that it haven't been done. So I just would feel comfortable for them to at least give us a price range, a cap of where it could go to, and if they see that they have to exceed that cap, that they have to bring it back before the board to vote on us moving further that range of price.
I understand your concern, trustee, but as I read, number 1 is the base cost. This is a base cost. As moving forward, as they come across, yes, it did go up. But when it went up the first time, it was a guesstimate. This is an estimate.
But when we give a vote, we're giving a vote for them to do it, to get it started. So we need to have at least a range, minimum, maximum, so that at least we can vote on it. So if they get to that maximum, they have to come back to the board if they see that they have to incur more charges for it. But for us not to give them a minimum and maximum, it's like we're writing a blank check and giving it to them. And right now, we need to be making sure we're counting every penny that's on the table, because that's the state that the village is in. So that's just my concern with it. I think that what they're doing is phenomenal and we need it, but we also need to be fiduciary responsible with every penny that we're spending.
I understand your concern, trustee, and if everybody could look at the page that says codification cost and services summary, I asked American Legal Publishing to give me their best estimate on what we have up until now. They did the research. They said right here, number of copies 3, the legal analysis. Then they said estimated number of pages at an 8.5 by 11 format is 680 pages. They based their price on $19 a page per single column, $22 a page per dual column. So based on 680 pages single column, 580 pages dual column at $19 and $22, this is what they base their price on. If they do 685 pages, we will expect to be increased. But if they do 680 pages, this is the total cost. What I'm saying is I don't expect it to stay at $15,640 because we will be passing some more ordinances in the next 7 months. And when we recodify total codification, we want to totally recodify up until the date of the ordinances, the last ordinance that was passed. So but I understand what you're saying, but there is no way to give you a total amount. This is not an invoice of a card that everybody makes all day long. It's the same card. But it's based on how many pages, if it's a single or a dual page, and how much, $19 or $22. That's the only parameter that they're going by. So if they increase the 680 pages, or the 580 pages, or the single column or the dual column, this cost will increase. If we don't do another invoice between now and 7 months from now, this is the price, $15,640. I can't make it any clearer than that.
Okay, may I?
Yes.
I think what I would like to see, and I am the one that recommended this company because Municode, which had been picked up by another company, was going to be increased. However, this exceeds what we would have been paying for had we kept the Municode company. Know also that when we had Municode, whenever we sent for supplemental to the codification, they had their costs was filled with the attorneys, referring back to all of the other codes that we had, all the other ordinances, and certifying exactly which particular ordinance that one was supporting. So it's and I think that we last did that, what was it, in 2014, 2015?
You did codification.
I did a recodification, but I'm talking about when they did the actual
The total was, when I was clerk in 2014, yeah. I don't know, 14, 15, I don't know the exact
Yes,
date.
okay, so, but when we talked about it most recently, trustees did express to you that they wanted to do the entire document. Maybe it's possible that we don't do the entire document, but allow them to pick up for the years that have not been done.
That's what the board decides. I'm fine with it.
Okay, we know, but I'm just expressing myself too. Trustee Johnson.
My question would be, if we do it that way, like I stated to the board before, we're missing some of the ordinances that's in the book. That's where the problem comes in at. So I don't see us doing half and then coming back doing the other half, because they have to be able to research and find out all ordinances that are missing in our book.
The thing is, I know for a fact that in 2021, a lot of ordinances came up missing out of the front. Then they came up missing out of my office as well. So we can have the ordinance, we can go through and look at the minutes to show that they passed, so we can recreate that if we want. But we would be the ones that have to give them the information for them then to do the research of whenever else that particular topic or subject was covered through ordinance. We give them the information, they format it. They format it for us, and they make it make sense by combining previous ones with the most current one.
So are you telling me, because I sat on the ordinance committee as well, for me to work along with the clerk in order to tell her some of the ordinance that I know that are missing, that I feel is important?
When did you work on the ordinance?
I was sitting on the ordinance committee before I became.
I think that that's something that we can handle offline and not necessarily right now, but it's good to know that you were on the ordinance committee, because I didn't know that. But I think what we need right now is to let the clerk know what our preference is. It's not on the next agenda. So we let her know what your viewpoint is and your feelings. For your name's sake, yes, and I recognize you.
Here's just why we need 3 copies. 3 bound copies, rather than, well, at one time I made copies for department heads and trustees myself at scholarship, and I can do it again. But the 3 bound copies, they're just more legalistic, bound properly and tabbed, and, you know, it's professional. So you would leave one in the village hall, you would leave one at the police department, you know, different stations, there would be 3 copies. But again, we can change this however we want, because I probably made 20 copies of the entire code book when I was thinking about that there, when I was clerk. And whole bunch of they would tabulate it. If anything the board desires, I will do it again. May I have one more thing? In view of the fact that we still have a lot of questions, and in view of the fact that what you just said about, I know you did the research, you passed this on to me, and I thought maybe you did the research to see if the prior company was any cheaper than, or any less expensive than American Legal. But from what I understand, because I was off for a little while, what I understand was that Unicode doesn't exist anymore, that they're now Civic.
They're now Civic, yes, and we sought American Legal because when they went to Civic, they increased their prices per page dramatically, and so I was asked to check another company, and American Legal is what I came up with. But that was more than 2 years ago, and at that point in time, American Legal was significantly less than Civic. But now, I've not researched to see what Civic is charging now and what American Legal, but it definitely was not 15,000, because I believe in the budget, it's only budgeted for less than 5,000.
Right, we were doing supplements. I had a question on top of that. So knowing Civic, from what my experience is, Civic is very expensive. That normally they are the top of the line and very expensive. So did you ask for total recodification when you talked to Civic the first time?
No, we're talking apples and oranges.
Okay, so it's apples and oranges. So there really is no way other than if you want me to get in touch with Civic and try to come up with the cost and compare apples to apples, because whatever they told you 2 years ago was not total recodification, it was supplements. And the other thing I want to tell the board is Josh Morgan from American Legal Publishing will be at IML, and I would encourage you to stop and speak to him, and he can give you more information, as well as Civic will be at IML. So I would encourage you to speak to both, and maybe we can table this for a month and bring it back. I'm not in a hurry. I'm in a hurry, but I'm not. I want the board to be happy with our decision, but I want to get it started as soon as possible. So after IML, maybe we can bring it back, and you guys can give your reports, who you talked to and what you decided. In the meantime, I can contact Civic and see what they do for the application.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Trustee Burns, you are on the agenda next.
Trustee Burns. She got one. She She was on a minute ago, but she dropped off, so.
Okay, we're gonna move forward as you're doing that. The next thing on the agenda is interim administrative bench, and Chief Don, can you both come up and talk about the emergency recovery action plan and the planning that has been conducted during this disaster?
Trustee Burns. Trustee
She had
Burns.
the ball.
Hello?
Okay, we're gonna move on, clerk. We're gonna move on. Gentlemen,
Good
please.
evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, trustees, residents. We were hit with back-to-back storms, one in late July, one in early mid-August. Both of them were very severe storms. Part of our storm response, we looked at immediate priorities. We met with the team to go over our immediate priorities. The 0 to 72 hours, then the intermediate priorities for 3 to 14 days, and then the long-term recovery. We were still in the intermediate priorities, so the first storm we were hit again.
That mic up to you.
Oh, okay. Here, I was thinking I was too loud.
Yeah, under there, it may seem like it,
Okay.
but no.
So, our immediate priorities were to remove the hazardous trees and limbs from the public streets and right-of-way and open it up for emergency vehicles to get through. We did that within 72 hours. Actually, within 24 hours, we had the streets open so emergency vehicles can get down there. We coordinate with ComEd regarding electrical restoration, conducted assessments of damaged public facilities and infrastructure, and provided regular updates through the village's communication platforms. We have also assisted elderly, disabled, and vulnerable residents as resources permit. As the mayor saw, we had numerous people come to the fire station. Moving on to the intermediate priorities where we are right now, days 3 to 14 out from the storm. We're continuing debris removal operations. With the number of trees and branches that came down, this is going to be a very long-term effort. Ideally it would be 3 to 14 days. With the amount we have, that's going to take a significant amount of time to get the branches up. Documented all public and private damage. We've documented for all the public buildings and the private damage as best that we can. Coordinate with county and state emergency management officials. The mayor has been in contact with Cook County and state emergency management. Compile all emergency expenditures and damage documentation. That's in process to make sure that we have costs for what it is for the village to do, to make sure we have that as best we can within the 14 days, and then begin repairs to municipal property and infrastructure. We do have damage to some of our municipal buildings, mostly roof damage with leaking water. We saw it at the fire station, the police station, and I believe the community center also. Did we have any damage here at this building? No, that's very good. And then we'll move from there into our long-term recovery. Again, the continued debris removal operations is in the intermediate. That's also going to be into the long term because there's no way we're going to get all this up in 2 weeks. There's just so many trees and branches. Complete restoration of municipal operations. We're pretty much there with the exception of Public Works doing the debris removal. Pursue reimbursement through all available disaster assistance programs. The mayor has been working on that with the county and state officials. Evaluate emergency response procedures and update our emergency preparedness plans. That'll be something we have to go back and take a look at, see what we did well, what we did not do well, and how we can incorporate that into future storms. Prepare a comprehensive after-action report for the mayor and board of trustees. This is one where we have such big storms like this that we need to prepare this for you, and that will start after the 2-week period, and it'll take us a few weeks to put that report together, but we will have a comprehensive after-action report. Recognize village employees, volunteers, first responders, utility workers, community partners for their extraordinary service. The storms were challenging for everybody, for the residents and those that volunteered. the first responders, fire, police, public works, and of course our utility workers. The utility workers have been fantastic. We're still responding to power line fires where the lines are still coming down as a result of that last storm. We went out on one this morning. The utility workers are still in town. We're able to find their location and grab them and bring them right over. They have been absolutely fantastic. ComEd has been very accommodating for us through this emergency. That's our recovery action plan. We also have an appendix to our EOP for our recovery operation checklist, which is to prepare final damage assessment and expenditure data for submission to appropriate authorities for possible reimbursement. And then as soon as possible, following the close of emergency operations, crisis management team personnel should meet to critique the operations and, if necessary, modify operational procedures. Those fit right in with our long-term recoveries. Madam Mayor, do you have any questions?
No, Mr. Finch?
No, good morning. Good morning, Lord. Good evening, Mayor, Board, and residents, trustees. Pretty much what Chief Dom said, that's the meeting that we conducted with all the department heads and the mayor, and that's what we put together. It is going to be some more weeks involved to get this cleaned up the way we need it to be cleaned up. The Director of Finance is going to be talking about a bridge loan program to get some money to help us offset some of these costs, but that money will be paid back once our property tax come in, but he'll give you more details on that. The only thing that I ask is that people allow for patience as we go through this process. You know, there's a lot of, in my opinion right now, second Monday morning quarterbacking, you know, what we could have done or should have done last week. But I will say that I personally know that for the first 2 days, public works was out there at least 20 hours straight. So like Chief said, the first priority, which was to open the streets, that is what we took care of, and we did that immediately. So I do want to thank the Public Works Department for getting out there and staying through the night and then do what they have to do to make sure that the streets was open. But it is going to be a long process. It is somewhat depressing when you drive around different neighborhoods. We've been doing this right now about 3 or 4 weeks. But just stay patient and we'll get through it.
Thank you. Any questions, comments for the speakers? Winston?
Thank you, Chief Dom, and thank you, Mr. Finch. I just want to bring back up last year one of the vendors that I met with at IML spoke with me about this one call now. I brought it before the board and our residents last year. Actually, it was October the 29th, 2025, in regards to in the event of a disaster, this one call now where you could, all of the phone numbers that you have in this database, you would be able to issue out a call for communication to our residents. I know over these last two storms that hit our village, a lot of conversation was around communication and lack of communication, which is why I brought that suggestion for the one call now to be in place in the event of a disaster. So I don't see it here. The cost is for 100,000 calls is $9,000. For 100,000 calls is $9,000. And here I'm talking about again about being fiduciary responsible. For $9,000, we could have made 1,000 calls reaching, 100,000 residents. So that means our residents could have gotten multiple calls throughout these weeks of this disaster to let them know what's going on in the village. Help, Red Cross coming, if ComEd was coming with relief bags for them to be able to come to the village hall. When we were all out, no power, one thing most people had was their phones. And this one call comes through your phone. So again, I'm beseeching for us to be more proactive rather than reactive. Had we had this in place, we would have been able to communicate with our residents. That's all.
And I thank you for that. And I don't want to sound defensive. I am going to ask staff to follow up on this one call now that she's just presented. However, I can definitely say we have communicated with residents who have the needed devices. We have definitely communicated. I see some people nod their head. The communication, though, was not what was needed. I mean, the communication was needed, forgive me, but it's not just what was needed. We needed electricity. We needed ComEd to repair all of those lines, which they had just said they repaired back in the month, 2 weeks before, when we were out. This is something that has never happened in our region. Before coming here, Indiana, Munster, and Highland, they were all on TV talking about they've been out since all of this time, and their electricity is not expected to come back on until Tuesday. It's on, okay, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's so bad out here, and this is a piece that we need people to understand, and I'm passionate about this. This has never happened to us before. Can you believe in Indiana, as she said, Tuesday, Wednesday, when they're looking for restoration? Guess who's out there helping them? Comcast. They don't have Comcast. They have not another company. Yeah. ComEd is out there helping them right now today because we're 100% back up. This is something that we are learning, we're working. I think we've been very successful, but I swear, I hope and pray that I never ever have to learn from this experience. I hope that none of you would have to learn from this experience. I hope we would never have to endure this again, people. I sincerely hope not. Yes, Trustee.
Now that it's on my mind, I need somebody from Public Works to check on between, I think it's 218 and 219. It's on Marrow. It's a light pole that's completely down.
Please send an email.
I definitely will.
Thank you so much.
Trustee, I report that.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Okay. Was it 218?
I reported it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. What I want to
Yes.
say also, we've gotten a lot of negativity. That's to be expected when people get frustrated and upset and scared. That's to be expected. What was so encouraging, though, is the number of volunteers that stepped up to the plate, their neighborly actions, and especially day one, out there working right alongside each other, trimming branches as much as they could to get them out of the street, to make the streets passable. This was before our public works could not handle every street. So that's where our neighbors, and I saw neighbors who said, oh no, I don't live on this block. We live 2 blocks over, but we just saw that the branches were down, and so we came over here to help. That warmed my heart. And that's where and who I hope that we as a community can continue to be. I do have to recognize all of our employees that's helped. Our volunteers are astronomical. With Red Cross, they were wonderful. But Red Cross sometimes wouldn't even let us know that they were getting ready to make a drop of food until an hour or two before they came. We contacted our volunteers in the hospitality committee, and a lot of times they were sitting right there, waiting for when Red Cross dropped. We had people, our first responders, our utility workers, and all of our community partners, they were astronomical in helping us, extraordinary. They were. And many of you who are sitting out there right now, you can pat yourselves on the back. And some of you, many of you, were some of those that were right there in that outside in the rain, if that's where we were, in the senior center, if that's where we were, hot, brutal, whatever. But we praise God that we had no casualties. We were discomforted, but we had no casualties. And we can thank God for that. If you believe in God, we can thank you for that. Thank you. For some of you who may not have gotten one of those comment storm bags, how many of you did not get one? Raise your hand, tell the truth if you did not get one bag. I only have one person, two people. Please see me after this meeting. Mr. Finch, I'm going to ask you to go to the conference room and bring 2 bags, bring 5, just in case, so that after this first meeting, if you didn't get one, you can take one. It's a wonderful bag, wonderful resources. All I can do though, all I can say, read the instructions. You may think they're really simple. Oh, it's a light bulb in here. No, you don't know. You got to put that light bulb in water to activate it, okay? But I'm going to move on from there. Anything else that anyone would have to say about our emergency recovery action? Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome. Thank you.
While they're taking their seats, our interim finance director, Fred McMillan, is going to come, and he's going to talk about a bridge loan application and recovery expenses.
Good evening to everyone. And Mayor, I'd like to echo your sentiments. I thought that the villagers did do a great job of coming together in the open, because we were out there, and I rode around the village for both storms, and I saw that. And I commend the villagers for their desire to help and be an assistance to one another. I thought that was very heartwarming, and I really do think that was great. Since we talked about the storm, Mayor, I'd like to start with the recovery expenses. I think that's item B. The storm recovery for this last storm is going to cost the village around $317,000, roughly $318,000. We have a lot of fuel charges. Our facilities, our vehicles had to get gassed up and move around, and we have a lot of tree services, and tree services are not cheap. You guys will see these expenses when you get the AP mix. One tree service was $3,000 for one tree. So, and that's not price gouging. That's typical of what they charge a lot for a tree removal. We had some equipment charges, and we did have some public work overtime. So you can expect to see some expenses, and as Chief Dom mentioned, we're going to keep having this tree removal expense because we got quite a bit of trees down, and they're in almost every neighborhood. So you can expect that we're going to keep this. We're going to halt it for a while and let Public Works do some of it, but we're probably gonna have to contract back some of these services to do some chipping. We are recommending a plan on how to pay for that. I won't bring it tonight, but I will bring it to you next week. And that's really the storm recovery finances that I have for you. I'll talk about the bridge loan. As most of you know, Cook County has not mailed out property tax bills. They haven't mailed the bills yet. So that means you know they haven't paid property tax. The property tax bills were delayed 2 months ago. We're gonna be delayed for 2 months ago. So I'm not sure. I was told that they're gonna mail them out, I think, September 1st. So to help taxing entities get through this process, Cook County has offered no interest loans to each taxing entity. Now, the caveat about the bridge loan is that it is a interceptor, which means that we will have to sign some documents that says we're gonna pay it back through our property tax distribution. We'll still do our 2025 second distribution, and this is what the loan is going to be for. The mayor directed me to apply for 2 months, because that's all you can apply for, 2 months of your anticipated second distribution. And for us, that totaled $233,123.58. So we made that application. The application was due yesterday. We got it in on Monday. We have not received any information back from them. But what I think the second meeting is going to be, we're going to ask you guys to approve the mayor the authorization to sign the documents for that loan. This loan has to be, the paperwork has to be sent in by September 1st. And I think our next board meeting is August 25th, and the deadline for the application was August 24th. So I have to ask you guys at the second meeting to authorize the mayor to sign the paperwork, or we won't get the money. We're not guaranteed the $233,000 because property taxes are paid as bills are received and people pay their property tax. But the 233 was the max we could ask for, and we asked for the max. The way this process is going to work, the mayor will sign those documents. We'll send those documents in to the county. The county will review them. They will have, if they approve it, they will have their bond issuer send me forms. I will have the mayor sign those warrants. It's a tax warrant. And then we'll submit that a couple of weeks, or at least a week, I think. They'll give us the money. And then when they get the tax receipts in, they will take the money back from us. So the second meeting is what we'll be asking you guys to approve, or give her the authority. You got any questions?
Are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, do you know who made copies of the frequently asked questions from Cook County for the bridge funding program?
Mr. Miller, did you give this part of it, or is that from me?
From you?
The frequently asked questions?
Yeah, that had to come from you. But if you want a copy, I can get you a copy.
No, I have one. What I was asking was who made the copies, because I don't know if that's the old version. But if you go on Cook County, and I feel like the board needs to have the updated one, if you check number 5, it's not the same. And then it stops at number 8. But my documents, it stopped completely at number 14. If you can pass this down so you can take a look at it, and if you get a chance, Clerk, can you make a copy for the board, please? Because I think the board members need to, thank you, know the whole stipulations with that bridge law.
I believe that what may have happened, all of this was very fast. They were throwing information at us. They had 3 different sessions on how to complete the form, giving you information. So it's possible that one may be earlier than the other, but we really don't know which is which. But you want
That she could make a copy to the board, because the board needs to see all documents in their entirety.
there you go. Okay.
Thank you.
So, any other questions, comments? We're going to move on. The next item, I'm not going to speak on. Oh, you do have a question.
So this bridge funding program would be used to cover the 317. With this 233,123.58 be used to cover the storm costs,
Not necessarily.
storm recovery costs.
It's really, it's a part of all of our levy, our tax levy, pension funds and everything we levy tax for. That's what that bridge fund would be. It's operating cash in lieu of getting property tax. That's what it is.
Okay. Anyone else? Thank you, sir. The next item is me, and I'm not going to speak on it long. We basically covered the consultation fee schedule in an executive board, if you can remember. In this one, we were asked to consider an expert witness, and we shared with you the fee schedule. Can you remember that? Well, it was signed. Okay, it was signed by our attorney because that expert witness needed to start that Monday. And it was signed. So just for the records, it is on, give me a minute, thank you. It's on the agenda for the record that we accepted. I'm not certain what will happen if you decide not to vote on it, because it was signed by our attorney, and I just need you to say that. And so we can look toward that at the next board meeting. Trustee Johnson.
Yes, that's Mayor. That's what I was going to bring to your attention, that I did notice that the attorney did sign it. And to me, that is unacceptable because he needed verification from his board. I do have a problem with that.
I understand. Thank you for expressing it. Anyone else? Okay. Is Trustee Burns on the line?
I tried calling her on my cell phone, I tried calling her on that phone, and I'm not getting her.
Okay, then we can go without her. I'm sorry. Is Kelly Hubbard in the office? I mean, in the room? Please come. You may approach. It's under Trustee Burns. Okay.
Good evening. That's just a discussion of a MOU. It's not like an actual, just some key things that I'm going to discuss. But my name is Kelly. I'm here representing my client, Sauk Point. We're requesting for the village's consideration and the acquisition for the parcel at 21933 Olivia Avenue in Sauk Village. My client acknowledges that it is on wetland, there, and so the intended purposes is just for stormwater and rainwater only. There's no proposed development for the land, so we're just simply trying to see what are the steps that the village is, what the village process is to acquire this property, this land.
If I'm not you go first.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Mayor, we did have this company, which is your client, in front of the board twice for presentation. At the last presentation, if I remember, we tabled it for later on, and we have not decided to bring it back to the table yet. So I need to know if the board is considering to bring it back to the table, because we all had our different concerns about this property.
Question, any comment?
My understanding, we spoke about this with the Attorney Till, and he did not recommend.
Exactly.
So based off of the attorney's recommendation, because it was saying that we had to purchase the land, we had to purchase the land, there's some old property tax on the land that we could possibly be held accountable for paying. So our attorney recommendation was that we not move forward with it. That was my last understanding of it.
That's my recollection as well.
So my question.
Yes, ma'am.
So how did this get back on the agenda? If
The trustee asked that it be placed back on the agenda again.
okay, that's something that we gotta start looking into, because we can't keep bringing stuff back to the table and having presentations come in front of us if we already denied it.
Well, I'm
But then we,
Okay, so based on what
coming
they're
up.
saying, I think that we can thank you for coming, but that's going to conclude your presentation for this evening. Okay?
Trustee Burns is on the line, she just talked.
Who's on the line?
Yes. Trustee Burns. Yes, Trustee Burns.
Yes, I have very, very bad connection. So where I can get a better reception.
The date, clerk. Williams, I can't recall the date that we were in discussion with Attorney Tillman on it.
Probably last board meeting when we went to executive session.
No,
No.
it's been a couple of months
Oh, you're
ago.
talking about the gentleman that's on? Oh, it's been from June, quite a while, I don't know. Trustee Burns, are you still there?
And she was
Okay,
out.
she is here.
Do you have anything that you would have to say?
Well, I do apologize, but I am not in a normal situation. I am very bad connection. Trying to leave that journey onto another. But I just want to make sure that Ms. Power is able to continue her presentation.
She's gone.
I'm sorry, what was that, Mayor?
She's gone.
Did I just hear you speaking with her?
And I just said that she's gone. She's left the building.
I'm sorry, say that again, Mayor?
Would you repeat it for me?
The mayor said that she left the building, she was here, but she is not on.
Yes, but wasn't she still there when I called, when we had your phone? Clerk?
The mayor's sister, we talked, and she was.
The question was she here when you were on the phone? The answer to that question is no.
I believe she was here when I was on the
Well,
phone.
when I heard you tell her, Mayor, that in her presentation, I was on the phone, and I was explaining to the clerk and to the
The trustees, okay, and I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to call for public comment, okay? The trustees recall that the same presentation was made 2 or 3 times prior, and that, okay, are you gonna let me finish talking, or am I going to move on? Okay, it's over. Does anyone see the Miss Kelly or Miss Hubbard in this room?
No.
Do you see her here? She is not here. So, we are getting ready to move on. Clerk, it's time for public comment. Mr. Finch, this is after public comment. We're going to be moving directly into the board meeting. So can you get a couple of storm bags for those who don't have them? Thank you. We will not have executive closed session. But for public comments, all questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker is allowed 1 opportunity to speak for up to 3 minutes and may not engage in debate, counter replies, or rebuttal. I will respond to those questions and comments as I am able to. If you have a public comment that you wish to make, I'm going to ask you to stand at the podium now. And as always, I give 3 opportunities. This is the second. If you have a comment to make, I'm going to ask that you stand in line now. For the 3rd and final time, if you wish to make public comment, please stand in line now. I have 5 people for public comment. Clerk, you may begin.
Go ahead. Is it on?
No, it's not. Can someone assist her?
Madam Mayor and trustees, my name is Debbie. This is a question regarding the light at our front entrance. I know it's been out for some time, and I was just wondering, when will it be taken care of? Because it's really dark when you're turning in and trying to turn out. And then I also wanted to say that, I think, Mayor, you guys are doing a wonderful job with the response with the, the disaster and everything. You have kept everybody informed. I've been keeping up with your messages, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We thank you. Would you do me a favor? Can you let Mr. Finch know where you're talking about when you say the front entrance? Mr. Finch?
Are you ready? Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name is Melissa Siciliano, and I also wanted to say thank you very much. I do keep up with your emails. I think that's a great idea, but I also think that us as residents, it is our responsibility to also find ways to stay informed with the village. I do see that you have papers out there for me to email. Maybe anything more than power. So you're free. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, trustees, residents. I'm going to speak briefly for class, and I have a lot of topics today. I wanted to remind the board of Code 1977, subsection 284, 285, Code 2005, subsection 36. If any member transgresses the rules of the corporate authorities, the mayor and any trustee may call him to order, and when called to order, the member will take their seat and remain silent unless permitted to explain. Any member acting or appearing in a disgraceful manner, or using violent or insulting language about any member of the corporate authorities, which would be the board or the mayor, including the clerk, or who does not obey the orders of the chairperson, shall on motion be censured by the majority vote of the members present and expelled by 2/3 vote of all members elected, provided, however, that a trustee may not be expelled for a second time for the same offense. Just as a reminder, that the penalty is that the Ethics Commission may fine any person who intentionally violates this provision or Division 2 of this article in the amount not less than $1,001 and not more than $5,000. The commission may also fine any person who knowingly files a frivolous complaint alleging a violation in $1,001, not to exceed $5,000. My second point would be to also thank the village for everything that they did during the storm. I think that we're doing an amazing job at getting back on track. To go for the call now that was mentioned by Trustee Dr. Winston, that would be, in my opinion, that would be not the best use of funds. I can call possibly through residents right now, they won't answer their phones. A lot of our community is older, and phones just aren't of use to a lot of our residents at given time. So I think that would be a waste of funds. I don't know, I wrote down Jesus Christ. Also, we could store wood chips that are collected by Public Works. We could collect and put in the parking lot for the villagers to come pick up. That would also mitigate the cost of our disposal fees for it. So we would not have to be charged by the tree companies to dispose of it. We could place it in the parking lot and allow the villagers to use it as needed, to put in their front yards, to redo their yards after the storm. That can be done as well. It's also being done in other communities. The ceiling for the ordinances, I agree. I think that there needs to be a minimum and a maximum, and I think that should be done as soon before it even gets presented. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments, and also thank you for your willingness to assist and volunteer as you have done over the last week. We appreciate that as well.
Go ahead. Yes, I'm sorry, I'll restart it. Yes, go ahead.
David Smith, resident. First, questions about our village attorneys. I haven't seen them on accounts payable in an awfully long time. And I know this is an accounts payable week, but seeing as how we're in a financial crunch, I'm wondering why is there such a large gap in between their payments? Because the last time that happened, and technically I spoke about it the last time, we ended up with a six-figure payment. So seeing as how we're kind of struggling for cash right now, I'm wondering why are they giving such big gaps in time, knowing how much they charge for it. It just seems like our next invoice with them is going to be a huge total, and I'm wondering, are we going to have the liquid cash available to pay them? Also, while I'm speaking about these law firms, our village attorney was here a few weeks ago. He spoke about issues that he was having in court. I know you guys get reports behind closed doors in executive session that us residents are not aware of, but I want to know if he reported to you that he has been missing deadlines in court, and that those deadlines were responses to summary judgment motions that could possibly have the village liable for large sums of money. Judge has ruled that Michael Graff was out of town on vacation. He was out of the country, and that wasn't a good excuse. It's actually documented. I'm going to put these on record when I get done. But I'm wondering if he reported any of that stuff to you guys, to let you guys know. It's not just emails that are missing and this and that. He's dropping the ball too. He's not taking care of his business like he's supposed to. Next thing about our recovery. Speaking for the North Side residents, thanks to all of the work that Public Works is doing. We appreciate you, but the people on the north side of Sauk Trail, we haven't seen any grant pickup at all. So I know on my block specifically, we're running out of space. People can't even park their cars. So if you guys could kind of just throw us a little bit of consideration, you know, maybe some of the areas that you already did, if you could kind of piggyback off of those and hopscotch back over to our side a little bit, because we're running out of space. And if any other debris falls, I don't know where we're going to put it. And let's not forget that the kids also have to start school tomorrow, and they're going to be standing on those corners where some of them might not be able to stand because there's such big piles of debris. Let's see, did I miss any? Oh, the red zone. I'm glad to know you guys only want a couple $100,000, but I'm wondering, when we start doing stuff like that, are we just pushing the financial issues down the road? Because at the end of the day, do we need that 200-something thousand from the property taxes? Are we going to need it in a couple of months? If that's the case, then I would suggest that you guys have a meeting and start discussing other revenue sources.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Madam Clerk, and Board of Trustees. Madam Mayor, I understand that this village has seen something that I've been told that never happened here before. The devastation that was taking place in this village. I understand right now we're in what we call recovery mode. So I want to commend all of those that have played a vital part in the survival of this village. Right now, Madam Mayor, we're looking for a little sunlight over this darkness. Constant Street Block Club is having their block club party this Saturday. We're inviting all of the Sauk villagers to come out and take part in this. Some of us are dealing with a lot of stress behind the scenes. Hopefully this will kind of relieve things a little bit. People can come out and enjoy themselves, have a good time. Just bring your family out. Just come out and have a good time. Just release for a moment. In the event of that, Madam Mayor, I'm asking if there's any way the Public Works can come and remove some of those big logs that's in the yards. Why? Because we're going to have children out there. We know children like to play on things like that. One of those children can easily get hurt on one of those logs. So we're just asking if there's any way possible the Public Works can come and possibly remove some of that debris so that it won't be scattered all over the yards and the streets, but we have the children out there. Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Are you talking the front yards?
Excuse me?
Are you talking front yards? Are you asking that Public Works remove the limbs from the front yards?
Yeah, some of those big
From the front?
Not so much worried about the other debris. You know, it's just those big tree logs that's out there. You know, yeah. But they roll and the kids play with them, then, you know, they'll roll up on the kids' feet or hand or something like that. When we're just trying to prevent something before it happens now. So that's the only reason why.
Let me share something with you. Your block, Constance, ravaged. July 27th, you all caught it. This last week, you all caught it even worse. It's unimaginable that it could be any worse than it was on the 27th. Truly, I applaud you for still standing, and know that I am sorry for all that you guys have gone through. And they were even displaced from their home, people. I'm sorry for telling your business. But you guys have been through a lot, and you're to be commended because you're still standing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, there are no more. No, you had to get in line by the time I did it the third time. I'm sorry, sir.
We apologize, Madam Mayor, but the deputy to speak on everything that's going on in our.
But I'm sorry. No debates, no counters. I love you though, but it is what it is. If I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody, and we'll be here forever, and we can't have that. Are there any general comments from the trustees? I'll reserve mine for later. Question.
Do you happen to know when Public Works can come on the north side? Just
Public Works are on the north side, whole lot, and the other, and it's not just Public Works, it is our contractors as well.
Because I haven't seen anybody. I've seen Public Works drive down my block, and I had to stop them for my neighbor across the street when the village tree split in half, and it was in the middle of the street. And they said they was going to go get a chain, and they never came back. And I seen 2 vehicles come down, and they never came back at all.
Mr. Finch, are you recording that? Okay, we'll look into that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Any other comments from trustees? Yes, ma'am. Quick.
I want to let our residents know I'm having a community baby shower. It's September 5th. It's on a Saturday. It's at the community center. It's from 10 to 2 p.m. I am inviting everyone to come. If you know anyone who is expecting a child, or if they have a parent who has a 1 to 2 or 3-year-old child, we're trying to get some things for them. We're giving out baby blessing baskets, and there's going to be like diapers, onesies, baby wipes, baby essential items. So I'm inviting everyone, if you can come. It'll be September 5th, 10 to 2 p.m. at the Village Community Center, right across from the police station. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Then, may I have...
Trustee Burch wants to make a comment. The comment is this. I've been on the phone for hours. We're making up these special meetings. All these things are going on at the last minute. And you guys expect for everyone to just drop a dead to me to be at these meetings without giving us down the time. Packages and everything.
trustee. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
It's been moved. May I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let's take a 2-minute break, and then we will go into the special meeting.
There's gonna be a second meeting. So this is not acceptable. You don't think she?
Yes. 6 copies. That's where you want her to go. Look, y'all have this conversation. I just said I wasn't going. Can you please make 6 copies of that before we get to the room? Trustee Johnson is over there. See it in the room. That's a new one right here. I'll just say it.
Here, I think it's the second one. It's outside. I'm sorry? No, we had to submit the application. Then after the application, after the application, then they go through all of the things and everything that we would have to jump through. In order, so that we would come back to you. Either come back to you, we still in the resolution. Just like when I say something. This is I love trying to application. I'm definitely not going to buy this. So I really, that's not for sure. Which is saying at the time. Apply. That doesn't mean it's accepted. Can we move forward? But so you don't want to start people talking. To call the special board meeting.
Wait one second, I was ready for y'all to stop. Okay, I'm ready.
Can they let them know to be about the Sauk? Thank you.
How you been doing? You been hanging?
Good. How you been doing?
I've been doing good.
Hanging in there.
Yes, yes. Did you have any damage at your house?
3? I see 2. Well,
It's 3.
2 pages, but it's double sided. Actually, 4 pages.
Go home.
It's double sided.
Look on your phone for Nathan, Sonny.
I know who you are.
Oh, you know. You ain't got to go no further.
No. I know exactly who you are. Okay. Remember I talked to you, I ran into you at Food for Less grocery store? That was me.
I didn't hear you.
I said, remember I ran into you at Food for Less grocery store?
Oh, that's
right, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forgive me. You probably
Don't worry about it, I'm Marquetta Smith. I've been texting you all the time, but you don't never respond. I said, he don't be checking his mail. But I've been trying to keep you up to date with what's going on because we have several days where we fed the community. And next time I'll call you, and even if you can't come out, we'll have somebody deliver it to your house, okay? All right, yeah.
You just pass down papers. We're starting the second meeting, trustee.
I've been updating. South Village.
Okay.
Nathan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would like to call the meeting, special meeting of the Board of Trustees for Authorities to order at 9:00. I'm going to ask everyone to please stand and join me as we recite the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes, trustee Burns is absent. Trustee Jones is absent with notice. Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Sapp?
Here.
Trustee Sterling?
Present.
Trustee Winston?
Here. Thank you. We're going to start with public comment. All questions and comments shall be directed to the mayor. Each speaker may comment on matters pertaining to the agenda items only. Each speaker is allowed one opportunity to speak for 3 minutes. If you wish to make a public comment on agenda items only, please rise to the podium. If you wish to make public comment on agenda items only, please stand at the podium for the 3rd time. Stand at the podium if you wish to make public comment. I see we have one individual making public comment on the items that are on the agenda.
You can go ahead and state your name, please.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, trustees, residents, and clerk. My name is Sebastian. I am asking that the board not vote tonight on this loan. I believe that our finance director is incompetent in his explanation to what this loan is and how it is. I believe he said the purpose of it, but there's always cons to loans. I think that we should share this and come back to it on a later date after maybe a representative from Cook County and or Illinois can actually come speak with the trustees and with the board to notify them exactly what we're getting ourselves into. We are in financial ruins. We've been in financial ruins, and making an impulsive decision this soon, I believe will be, in safe words, a terrible idea for this village. So again, I ask that we do not, as the trustees voting tonight, vote for this, and I ask that we share it so we can get competent information regarding what's going on with this one. Thank you.
Thank you for that comment, and it's really interesting because the next item on the agenda is a motion to approve an application for the Cook County Bridge Loan. Let me just share with everyone that the application has been made. However, that does not mean that we have gone through what's necessary to actually get the loan and or to be approved for the loan. It's like a 2 or 3 step process, and you have to do the application first. Once they enter your information on the application, then they tell you the next steps that needs to be done. But just the application alone does not say that we are accepting a loan. Keep in mind, I'm sorry, also, this was just to approve the application. But as with most, all the loans and everything we get, it has to be accompanied
resolution as well, and we're not doing that either. This is just one of the hoops that they're making us jump through. That's all. And as always, we like to be as ready as possible. Not saying that we're jumping through their hoops, but we're not jumping at action. So with that in mind, may I have a motion to approve the application of the bridge fund? So I have a motion on the floor. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we make the application. Are there any questions, comments, or debates? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns is absent with notice. Trustee Jones is absent with notice. Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Sapp?
Yes.
Trustee Sterling?
Yes.
Trustee Dr. Winston?
Yes. Motion carries. I'm sorry, but when you took roll, when you called Trustee Burns, you just said she was absent. You didn't say.
Right, that's why I made sure it's in the consensus. But I'll make sure it's in the consensus. Because it really wasn't notice, it was really like, I'm not available, that's notice.
No, it's not. It's an absence.
Whatever you want, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are so kind. I truly appreciate that. Let's move on, because we're almost out of here. May I have a motion to approve consultation fee schedule and expenses signed by Village Attorney Mike McGrath for expert witness John Ryan in the case of Gomez versus Sauk Village. May I have that motion? I have a motion on the floor. May I have a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the fee schedule and expenses for an expert witness in a case. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Burns is absent. Trustee Jones is absent with notice. Trustee Johnson?
No.
Trustee Sapp?
Yes.
Trustee Sterling?
No.
Trustee Dr. Winston?
Yes.
Mayor? In the case of a tie.
In the case of this tie, I'm going to say, even though I'm not in agreement with how this was handled, I think though that the information that we received in terms of the need for an expert witness would constitute us having one. It's just the process is incorrect, and that process will be addressed. You can take my word for it. This will never happen again, and that is for the record. So with that being said, I will break the tie by saying that I would approve that fee schedule that was signed by our attorney, Mike McGrath, and not the village of Sauk Village. That motion carries. Are there any comments from the mayor or the board of trustees at this point in time? Hearing none. Oh, I have a couple. And I put one of the flyers on the table in the bag. Calvary Baptist Church.
Do you have to keep comments and special meetings too?
Oh, if that's what I have to do, then that's what everyone will be going for. Because that's not what we've been doing in the past. But I'm going to ask everybody to check the back table. I need some of you to go to Calvary Baptist Church on Friday. It's in your email as well. And shameless plug, Big Women Glory is Thursday night at 6 o'clock. If you are interested in attending, please let me know. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved. May I have a second?
Second.